So still planning to move to the UK this 2025, guys, you have to be strategic. This is a new update from the Home Office. UK sees huge drop in visa applications after restrictions introduced. This was published on Monday, 13th. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Fajira. If you're seeing this beautiful face for the very first time, I'm so happy to have you all in our beautiful family. For my returning subscribers, thank you for always coming back to watch my videos. I really do appreciate it. If you're new to this channel, I create content on jobs with visa sponsorship in the UK immigration updates, which I'm about to share one now, live in the UK, scholarships in the UK, like everything you can think about the UK. So if you're someone who is interested, or you know anyone who may be interested, please do like, share, and also to subscribe and turn on your notification bell so you'll be the first to be notified each time I upload a new video. Without wasting so much of your time, guys, let's quickly dive right into today's video. Just as you can see on my screen, the huge drop has been driven by a fall in the number of overseas students and foreign care workers. This was published on Monday. The number of people applying for visas to work and study in the UK fell by nearly 400,000 after restrictions were introduced in a bid to cut legal migration levels. Like we all know that the UK government have been trying to cut down net migration, but in as much as they have been cutting down net migration, some of my viewers are still moving to the UK. So as you can see, provisional Home Office figures show 547,000 applications were received between April and December 2024. Down from 942,500 in the same period in 2023. We know that the care visa was a visa that a lot of people migrated to the UK with. But since the new rules was introduced, you can see the figure has dropped. Now, the aim was to slash the number of arrivals by 300,000 a year. The drop of 395,100 or 42% has been driven by sharp fall in the number of overseas students and foreign care workers seeking to come to the country. You know, care workers are not allowed to come with dependents. But just within that same period that they were looking at 300,000 per year, it's been dropped to 395,100 in the last year. So restrictions gradually introduced by the former Conservative government between January and April last year amid pressure to cut the record number of people legally arriving in Britain included a ban on overseas care workers, bringing family dependents and high salary threshold for skilled workers to 38,700. Bearing in mind that if you have gotten a graduate job, you don't really have to earn 38,700 pounds to be able to bring your dependent, but lesser than that. It depends on what the company is offering you. Other reforms meant overseas students were stopped from bringing their family with them to the UK. For you to be able to bring your spouse to the UK, if you're a Briton or maybe you have your indefinite leave to remain, you have to earn 29,000 pounds per year. It was previously 18,600, but it's currently on review, and Mark will get back to the government, I think around June this year. Just in case you're planning to bring your dependents, you can hurry to do that, because the review, from what they said in that publication, that they will look at it if they have to leave it at 29,000 pounds or reduce it or maybe increase it. We don't know what the outcome is going to be, so make use of the opportunity you've got now. Make sure that your partner or your dependent is here before the end of the review, because if they review it and they have to increase it, then you will need more money to bring your dependents over. People are applying for work and study visas in the UK. Just as you can see the graph on my screen, sponsored study from April to December 2023, 546,100 students and dependents arrived in the UK on the student visa. Now, from April to December 2024, it has further dropped to 389,800 students and dependents. Then, just as you can see for health and care worker, in April to December 2023, it was 299,800 health and care workers and their dependents who arrived in the UK. But now, with what they have done, that as a care worker, you can bring your dependents if you get a job on code 6135. Just as you can see, between April to December 2024, it's only 63,800 care workers that have arrived in the UK. Now, for skilled workers, as you can see on my screen, between April to December 2023, 96,600 skilled workers arrived in the UK with their dependents. From April to December 2024, 93,800 800 skilled workers arrived in the UK. For skilled workers, as you can see, that the difference is really not much. The policy changes prompted warnings that universities and the care industry could struggle to cope with the consequences, which is what I'm very sure of. Like, the universities are already struggling, to be honest, and also the care sector will struggle. The overall drop of 42% in visa requests for main applicants and dependent marks big difference in the size of the fall across the different categories of immigration papers available, according to the PA News Agency analysis of the latest figures published on Thursday. Now, applications to come to the UK on a health and care worker visa fell by a much steeper figure of 79% from 299,800 in April to December 2023, compared with 63,800 in the same period in 2024. The social care sector previously hit out at the potential ramification of the dependent ban, branding it brutal and blaming the policy for cutting a lifeline of overseas staff. Now, there was a 29% drop in sponsored study for students, so which we all know that a lot of students now, they try to get a graduate job and bring their dependents. Like I said, if you are able to secure a graduate job just after you've completed your studies, you can still bring your dependent, because with graduate job, you don't have to earn £38,700 to be eligible to bring your dependent. But if it is not a graduate job, let's say maybe you're able to get a care worker visa, with that, because your salary threshold is lower than that £38,700, no care industry will pay you that amount, except you've gotten a job in the social care sector as a manager. Then you can earn up to £38,700 to bring your dependent. But what I usually advise my beautiful viewers is, if you still want to move to the UK this 2025, you can still move to the UK with your dependents, but you just have to be intentional this 2025. All you need to do is to come first to do your study. Make sure you are able to graduate, because if you don't graduate, you cannot switch your visa. Yeah, you have to complete your studies. And once you're able to complete your studies, just in case you've not gotten a job that will allow you to bring your dependents, you can still apply to get a post-study work visa, which will give you another 2 years to search for a graduate job. Then you can now carry on. But now a lot of people are like, oh, I'm not coming to the UK because I can't come with my dependent. Guys, you have to be strategic when planning to move to the UK. Like I would always say, coming with your dependent at the same time you're coming can be a big challenge, because you have to think of accommodation, you have to think of feeding, you have to think of a lot of things. And just imagine coming to study and you're distracted with all of that. But now, if you had come on your own, you studied, you finished your studies, you're able to get a job, let's say a graduate job, and because you've gotten a job, you secure accommodation, you can now apply for your dependents to join you, instead of having to come with your dependents and you're already struggling. And once you do that, you're struggling. At the end of the day, you may not be able to complete your studies because you're distracted with a lot of things. So if you're still planning to move to the UK this year on the study visa, it is very, very possible that you can still move this year to the UK, complete your study and get a graduate job and bring your dependents. Likewise, the care worker visa as well. Like I would always say, since we all know that the care worker visa does not allow dependents, you have to be strategic. You can come, start working, start saving, start applying for other jobs that can allow you to bring your dependents. Bear in mind that if you come into the UK as a care worker, you could upskill to maybe data analyst or business analyst or HR. And if you're lucky to get a job, then you can go and bring your dependents. If you're still worried about your dependents in this 2025, guys, I would say think about how you can get here first, sort out things, make sure that you're comfortable. So when your dependent is coming, your dependent will also be comfortable, because you don't want to be a liability. You don't want to come and you're struggling, you're asking people to borrow you money from left, right, front, back. UK is not like that. Nobody's going to just borrow you money like that. So you have to be strategic in your planning this year. Don't give up on the UK. If it is UK that is your dream country, be strategic, plan it and see how you can achieve it. Just as you can see the figure, it will further drop this year, except the rule changes. Though I know from what it says on the publication that the social care sector will struggle. Right now, the universities are struggling and they are laying off lecturers, and the social care sector as well may struggle within the year because of these changes. But bear in mind that there are some people as well currently in the UK that have moved to the UK. Companies that brought them have lost their licenses. There is a possibility that they may get a job in those care sectors and they will still fill up the space. So still planning to move to the UK this 2025, guys, you have to be strategic. Please like, share this video with your friends. I'm sure someone may find it helpful. You have to be strategic. You have to plan and make sure that you are comfortable. Then you can bring your dependents. With that, life in the UK is just going to be a lot easier for you than having to carry all those baggages and you're also still struggling to complete your studies or maybe to do the job you have been hired for. These are the new figures just published here, which is why I'm sharing it. We've actually come to the end of today's video and I hope you find this video helpful. And if you do find this video helpful, please do like, share, and also do subscribe. And until I see you in my next video, guys, do take care and have a lovely day. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye for now.